Good morning readers. I, Harish Budhu, warmly welcome you to my channel. Learn as much as possible from my handwritten articles. This 26th of November 2020 opinion paper. A cheap, shameful and foolish Prime Minister who raised the issue of a lady at the National Assembly and who foolishly politicized the cremation ceremonies of the fallen soldier. Never start something you can't stop, Mr. Prime Minister, and never point an accusing finger when three of your own stare at you in horror. Warm greetings. Welcome to this 26th of November 2020 opinion paper. It will address two wider issues. Bear in mind the usual caution. Bon lecture. Take care. We thank all our friends who will share this paper with their close ones. Students' column. First, we had highlighted 18 English expressions, and quoted 14 British Broadcasting Corporation phrases yesterday for you all. Second, this early morning, we wrote down many English phrases in our diary, whilst listening to the British Broadcasting Corporation World News. Consider only 13 of them, but please note that we have had to consult the dictionaries to complete some of them. Diego Maradona was venerated as a saint. Millions will pay tribute to him. He is respected as a national hero. He is considered as the greatest footballer of all time. Millions will pay their last respects to Diego. His exceptional natural talent as a footballer is unquestioned. No matter how badly he behaved, he was always adored in Argentina. He was central to Argentina's triumph in 1986. With the ball at his feet, he was a footballer of genius. They elevated him to a superstar status. Diego overturned the established order in Italy's football. Controversial but charismatic character. A footballing legend in his own lifetime. An unashamed premier with unacceptable, unbecoming and unpardonable behaviour. 1. First things first. We deem it necessary to acknowledge the following facts, and that too with a guilty conscience. That we had helped Andrew Jugnorth in 1982, 1983, 1987, 2000, 2014 etc. to either stay in power or to regain it. I had helped to create the militant socialist movement in April 1983. I destroyed my own well-structured party, the Party Socialist Militant. That we threw our weight behind brave and Jugnorth in November 2019. Both Facebook and history bear testimony. And that even though we are a Labourite anti-Navin Ramgoolam. That brave in Juggernaut used to accompany Ashok Juggernaut to the 1990s courts, to represent the agents of Anirudh Juggernaut, then Prime Minister, to condemn me or send me to prison. That, otherwise, I have never met Pravin Juggernaut in person, and I am proud for that. That following my 2011 statements to Independent Commission against Corruption and Police on Medpoint on the Vagoas property of the Prime Minister, my car and house were set on fire on 1st of March 2011. That since last November 2019, our Facebook articles have congratulated the Prime Minister when good work was done and condemned him for his abuses, extremes, anti-democratic measures, autocratic Kim Jong-un leadership style, monarchical sickening system and whatnot. Cheers for good work. And jeers for bad behavior. 2. Against that background, now consider the latest of the Prime Minister's childish, foolish, shameful, unprofessional and unpardonable behavior. He is lying and misleading the National Assembly and the country on the Bel Air sugar estate transactions. 2 other plots of land, some 13.5 acres, have not been raised by Bardane and L'Express. The Valletta Pahadi property bought at sale by levy for peanuts, should have been at issue. The Medpoint clinic, not worth 45 million rupees, was bought from his own brother-in-law for so 144 million rupees. It is all very cheap for a Prime Minister, nay, for any human. What is the difference between him and Navin Ramgoolam? Here is a question for L'Express, who had paid for the British legal team, where and how? At the last proceedings of 24th November, The Prime Minister had raised the issue of Mrs. IM in relation to the leader of the opposition. The insinuation was crystal clear. It was repeated several times. The Speaker should have stopped him there and then. Where is the 2014 Gandia cassette case? Why police dropped it? Still, is the Prime Minister aware that the fat wife of a minister had spent some 3 weeks in India with a bodyguard? At taxpayers' expense, please. The then Indian High Commissioner had protested. There is a parliamentary question. I was acting Prime Minister many times. I better stop here. One piece of advice. Stop the dirty war. When one accusing finger points at somebody, 3 look at the accuser himself. Inquire why Al-Jadi was kicked out in 1984 and why the Libyan embassy was closed down? After looting them? Also, inquire who was the 1980s drug courier for the Plain Verte gang. We can add more and go on, but we have to stop here. All told, heed my advice, Mr. Prime Minister, do not start something you cannot stop. Look in your own rearview mirror before overtaking. Got the message? 3. It was again very cheap and shameful for a Prime Minister to politicize the cremation ceremonies of the fallen national heroine at the View Grand Port. People wanted to hear the Commissioner of Police. Alas, for the Mauritius Broadcasting Corporation television, the main focus was the Prime Minister and not the national heroine who died for others. Keep reading, keep learning. Like and subscribe for more thrilling articles. Thank you for watching.